The patch preview for 2.03 took a bit of a turn this time around. They decided to have today's stream focus on the hunt and balance. The next one tomorrow at 1 PM Eastern will show content like the new skins. I know people like to make fun of the hunt, but they put a lot of effort into making really good bug fixes, and a lot of them this time around. Like they fixed Terminus not being able to swing and Pip's potion bug, to name a few. So Evil Mojo really deserves praise for working so hard on fixing all this stuff. However, for this video I'm going to mainly focus on the balance. The AoC did have a big part in the balance in this update. I'm going to be honest here, I didn't expect the AoC related balance to come in this update. They put it out really fast and it was a really cool surprise. Now real quick, I will go over character specific bug fixes because that's technically balance in a way. They fixed the bug where if Buck got CC'd during his ultimate, his attack speed would massively increase. They fixed one where Drogos' boosters would get locked out if you tabbed into menus. They fixed some bugs where Amani's attacks weren't affected by Haven and Frostbomb wasn't affected by Chronos. They fixed a bug where Damba's ritual magic card didn't work with Wakono's curse. Like I said earlier, Pip's potion false firing due to server desync was fixed. Lex's renegade phasers were leaving default textures behind when fired, that's fixed. Also, like I said earlier, Terminus getting locked out of everything due to server desync with his Calamity Blasts was fixed. His Abomination and It Watches cards not giving charges on killing blows was also fixed. And those are all the character bug fixes. Again, there's a lot more bug fixes, they're not character specific though, so I won't go over them. I will have a link to them below in the description. Now on to the balance. Dredge's teleporter can no longer teleport allies. So this was a cool idea, no doubt, but it turned out to be way more frustrating and random than anything else. So they removed it. Also, his Heave Away card, the card that gives reload speed after using Broadside, was completely reworked. It'll now lower the cooldown of Harpoon by 0.2 seconds per level and per hit with Broadside. So this was an AoC one. So Martini asked if Heave Away should be nerfed. And that is a big source of frustration in the community because it encourages spamming your Broadside in order to spam your Scuttle and that massive 1850 burst. He did want to nerf it, but we decided it was best to rework it into something else. So if you want that 1850 burst, you can still get it, but you need to buy Deft Hands 3. You can't have it from the very start anymore. Now I have seen some concerns that this will kill the character, cause he is relatively easy to counter at a higher level, and we'll keep an eye on how he does and make adjustments accordingly. I've gotten feedback on him from players already that looks pretty good, feel free to send some more. Now on to Nando, so you guys wanted Hot Pursuit back. You wanted Nando to feel fun again. Hot Pursuit will now give 8% movement speed per level for 3 seconds when hitting an enemy with Fireball, but it has a 10-second internal cooldown. So you have up to 50% movement speed for a second longer than before, but it only works every 10 seconds. Now a lot of people seem unpleased with 10 seconds. I'll express your concerns on this with them. We'll probably need to get our hands on it first before anything gets messed with though, but it is progress. Keep in mind that they do want a clear gap in between movement speed bonuses. They don't want to have constant bonus speed uptime like before. Now Grover. Grover has been doing insanely well right now, so he's getting brought down a bit. Nothing too crazy. I have no doubt a lot of people expected this to happen. Rampant Blooming's bonus healing is going from 160 a second to 150 a second. And instead of lasting 4 seconds, it'll last 3. The Chopper card healing is going from 50 to 100 per level, and the Gentle Breeze speed bonus is going from 8% to 5% per level. Jenos will now heal 300 health when applying his mark instead of 5% of the target's max health. This was a good buff, really brings up his healing output. Koga, okay, you guys don't like Koga. We know, they know, everyone knows. So first, his SMG ammo is going from 60 to 70 again. Dragonfang's health drain is going from 150 to 200 per second again. And his claws will have greatly reduced projectile size. They want the claws to feel powerful, it's his moment of power. The thing is, Dragonfangs didn't feel risky enough and claws were too easy to use for how rewarding they could be. The thing is, Dragonfangs didn't feel risky enough and the claws were too easy to use for how rewarding they could be. So this one will hopefully balance them out. Makoa, okay, another AoC one. So when we were all talking about tanks, Martini mentioned that Leviathan could maybe use a nerf. I definitely agreed and pushed him to do that. Makoa has always been the best character in the game, always a first pick or must ban. His hook is a big part of that, but Levy is too, so Levy's health bonus is going from 1200 to 600, so less health to work with. Makoa is still going to be really strong, probably still the best character in the game, but this helps bring him down a little bit. Moji, okay, so here's the news. They're not going to turn her into a support. They felt the resources were better spent elsewhere, like improving the game, rather than reworking her into a support. It wasn't worth it to them to take resources away from fixing the game, and no one can really argue with that. Making the game better is way more important than reworking a salvageable character. Also, Martini did tell me that one of her talents could be made into something that gives her a more solid and viable support playstyle, for those of you that wanted her to be a support. So there is a way everyone gets what they want. Now I'm gonna read this all off. It may sound pretty confusing at first, but I will explain it afterwards. Reducing flat damage of familiar spit from 250 to 100. Increase amount of detonated damage from 775 to 1000. Detonated magic marks will not deal damage below 8, 9, or 10 marks. Familiar spray will fire 20% faster, 0.1 to 0.08. Familiar spit is a bit faster to fire, don't know how much specifically yet. Okay, so what is this about? Well, a big complaint about Moji is that the character is easy and people only hold down 2 buttons with her, even though timing your mark detonations does give you more DPS. To most people, it wasn't a big enough difference to warrant doing that. It was easier and only a little less effective than holding down the 2 buttons. So what this does is put a big difference between holding them and timing them. If you hold them like before, you're gonna do no damage. If you time them and use them right, you're gonna be rewarded well. This makes her more engaging and more skill reliant. When Martini let us see this, I told him it was a good idea. Now, hypothetically of course, if I would have had free reign on the character, I would have done things a lot differently. And I still think more can be done to the character to make her feel a lot better, but I do want to see how this works out. Everything I have in mind is pretty unanimously agreed with among Moji players, so if we end up needing that stuff for her, it'll all be good, agreed on changes. Again though, first we need to take a look at how this does first. 1000 is a lot of damage, and I won't lie, I'm a bit worried about it. It does make for a lot of DPS, but we have been talking to Evil Mojo about it. We will probably need to see how it does in practice on the PTS first, and that is supposed to be coming on Friday by the way. If it ends up being too much, we'll continue to push them to lower it. It taking skill is great without a doubt, but we don't want it to be too over rewarding. I know the last thing I want is for Moji to get all the hate Koga is getting, you know? And yeah, that's everything. Honestly, when I saw the balance before the AoC had any input on it, I thought it was still all really good. I couldn't call anything a bad idea. It all was fair and had a good purpose behind it. Then I saw what they added from the feedback they got from us earlier today, and that made it even better. Of course, there is more to be done, there always is, and we'll continue to bring feedback from the community to them, and find the best solutions to satisfy that feedback. So continue to give that feedback, please, whether it be in the comments or in my Twitter and Discord DMs. Preferably don't publicly tweet it to me or post it in my Discord server, because it will get buried and I will most likely miss it, and we don't want that. Also, I don't know if any pro players watch my videos or not. You guys could spread the word to them if you want to, but I'm also very willing to hear pro player feedback as well. I want all the different skill levels to feel like we're listening to what they have to say, so please feel free to message me your feedback. Anyway, that's pretty much it guys. I want to thank you all for watching, I very much appreciate it, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.